Hello, welcome to the 5th National Storytelling Week video. The eagle-eyed amongst you may notice that if you care that much, I'm filming this directly after filming the Bumwitch of Dingle video, and that's mainly because I feel somewhat troubled by that poem, and so I want some slightly more wholesome prose to balance that out. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that one. I've got a short story for you, which hopefully will take the bad taste out of all of our hearts. This is kind of a fantasy story as well, except it takes place in a kind of alternate Birmingham, and concerns a group of people called Soothsaiders, which is an idea I came up with a few years ago, several years ago now, when chatting with my friend Jake. And this is a group of people who can very accurately predict the past. So if something has happened, then they can predict that it has happened, even if they didn't see it or haven't read about it, etc., etc. They can see what has happened, basically. They can predict the past, and so this story is just a little snapshot of a slight crisis at the Guild of Soothsaiders in an alternate Birmingham. So hopefully this is a bit more wholesome than what will be yesterday for you. This is called the Guild of Soothsaiders. In the Guild of Soothsaiders, Professor Memphis had spent his Wednesday morning guiding the newest cohort of students in the fine art of predicting the past. They were all men, because when your job is to predict the past, it's hard not to get stuck in it. A good soothsayer could tell you with great accuracy what you had had for breakfast that morning, where you had been, and more helpfully, but only if you needed legal counsel and weren't already inclined to paranoia, whether anyone had tried to kill, rob, or otherwise harm you. If it had already happened, they could see it. But it didn't take a soothsayer to know that morning's session had been different. On Thursday morning, Tom, assistant to the guildmaster, hurried into the guildmaster's office. Mr. Windle looked up from the reports he was reading. Nobody had delivered them to him. They'd written them. He'd deftly predicted what they'd written, and saved them the trouble of coming to his desk. "Good afternoon, Tom. You've been worried." "Yes, Mr. Windle," Tom said uneasily. "I know you've been busy, sir, but have you predicted anything about Professor Memphis' class yesterday morning?" "No, I haven't had the time, I'm afraid, as you well know." And then Tom did know, because he checked, and that had happened. Never mind that he'd been told. There's knowing, and there's knowing. It's a soothsayer thing. Tom shifted slowly from foot to foot. Something new had happened, and that never sat well with the soothsayers. Something new had happened during one of Professor Memphis' routine practical activities, tell me what I had for breakfast. The students each wrote down their prediction about what Memphis had had for breakfast, and submitted them to him for approval. Or rather, he predicted what they'd already written, and so on. Most had got it right, or at least close, but one had got it utterly wrong. "Ah, Jacob," Professor Memphis had said. "Pancakes, eh? Afraid not. If only, alas, no," he'd blustered, trying to be kind. "Cheese on toast it was. Still, toast is a bit pancakey, eh? Flat and all that." Jacob had looked confused for a moment before saying, "Oh, sorry, sir. I meant tomorrow. It's pancakes tomorrow." "You've been talking to my wife, have you? Know something I don't, eh? Pancakes," mused Memphis good-naturedly. "Chance would be a fine thing." And that had been the end of it. Guildmaster Windle was unimpressed. "So we have a slightly eccentric student. I don't see why..." And then he did see why. Because he very precisely predicted the surprise pancake breakfast that Memphis' wife had prepared for him that morning. "Blind luck," he murmured. "No, sir. Tom said. There's been rather a pattern. Comments to other students, strange statements in his assignments. But it's laughable, Windle protested. How could he possibly... Why would he want to predict the future? How is he doing it? It's impossible to say, sir. You see, it's never happened before.